All right, it's time to learn about parts of a circle. So here is our dictionary. We're going to deal with a lot of vocabulary today. So the first one is a circle. And so here's an example of a circle, and it's a set of all points equidistant, the same distance from a given point, the center. So first off, you're going to draw a point at the center, and this will be called circle P if I put a center at P. If there was a C, it would be called circle C. So again, P would be the center of your circle. All right, radius is a familiar word from middle school. It's segment with points at the center and then on the circle. So start off with a point at the center. We can call it P again. And then you're going to draw to the edge of the circle. So you could draw it there, for example. You could draw it up here. You could draw it over here, wherever. Let's go ahead and put another letter. And so that radius is from A to P or P to A. And so you'll put a line segment and say AP, or you can reverse it and say line segment PA. Totally up to you. All right, a chord is a little different. It's going to have a segment with your endpoints on the circle. So both of the endpoints are on the circle. So you can start off down here, go straight across, down here. So it does not go to the center at all. So pick your favorite two letters. Mine are going to be JK. And so if I have this chord JK, it's a line segment. So I'll say line segment JK, or you could reverse it KJ. So make sure to have the little line symbol across because you got endpoints. All right. Now, diameter is a special kind of a chord because it's going to go through the center. All right, so chord means endpoints on the circle, and then a diameter is just going to go through the center. So I'm going to draw my center, and then just draw a chord going through the center. All right, so let me pick my favorite letters. We're going to go A, P, and B. All right, so since this is a line segment, I still need two letters like above. And so I'm going to pick from A to B. So I'm going to skip over the center P. It is just there to tell you it's a radius. You can also flip it and say BA. And something cool about the diameter, it is actually two radiuses. So if you know one of the radiuses, you can double it to get a whole diameter. Okay? All right, so those are some pretty, at least radius and diameter you have learned in middle school. The rest, probably not. All right, we're going to switch to a line now. So next one is a secant, and it's going to be a line that intersects at two places. So basically, this is going to go through the circle. So you can have a line segment out here going through the circle. So it intersected it right here and right here. So if it's going through the circle, that's going to be a secant. So let's pick our favorite letters. I'm going to say X and Y. So this could be line XY. Notice I put arrows because it was a line. Or you could have line YX. All right, so biggest thing, secant means through. The next one is a tangent. Now, tangent is another line, but it's going to intersect only once. So what that means is your line is going to hit the circle once and then just keep on going. Okay, so if you go off on a tangent, you talked about something and you just kept going on forever and ever and ever. So to name this, let me add some more points to my line. I'm going to say P, Q, R. So I need two letters to name a line. And so I'm going to use P and R to describe my line. Or sorry, I just wrote RP, so we'll say that. You could have line PR is tangent. If you wanted to, you could put line PQ is tangent. Lots of different ways to name that with your two favorite letters. Okay, so biggest thing, secant has to go through the circle and tangent has to just hit it at one point. All right, last one on this page is point of tangency. So probably similar to the one above it. So it is the single point at which the tangent line is going to intersect. So looking at the example above, Q is the point of tangency. So I'm just going to redraw our picture and say Q. Let me go ahead and add P and R. But Q is the point of tangency. It's that point where it hit the circle. So notice secant and tangent, they're going to be lines going either through or touching it. And the point of tangency is one letter, and so is a circle, one letter. But the majority, the rest of these are going to be written as two letters with either an arrow or a line segment. All right, more vocab, turn the page. All right, we've got a central angle next. So this has the word angle in it. So we're going to be talking about angles. So a central angle, center, it's going to be an angle with a vertex at the center. And then you're going to have two sides that are radii or a radius. So first put a center dot. And then you're going to draw one radius, one direction, and then whichever direction you want to draw the other radius. So here is going to be your central angle. And so for angles, we need three letters. And so I'm going to put an A out here, P in the center, and then a B. So if I'm naming this, I would put angle symbol and then A, P, B. Now you could flip it and say angle P, B, A, totally up to you. An inscribed angle, in means inside, scribed means written, so we're going to write an angle on the inside. And so the vertex is going to be on the circle. So instead of the vertex being at the center, it's going to be on it. So for example, this would be an inscribed angle. You have a chord from here to here, you have a chord from here to here, and then you have your vertex on the circle. So let me give you three more letters. We'll go ACB. So if I want to name an angle, I need three letters with the vertex in the middle. So angle ACB would be a correct way to name that inscribed angle. So two options. It's either going to be at the center or on the circle, and that's how you can distinguish between the two. All right, the last thing we're going to talk about are arcs. So you've got 4 arc vocabulary words. So an arc, it's like a little rainbow. It's going to be a portion or a part of the circle that is on the edge. Okay, so think about a pizza crust. So from here to here is an arc. Okay, so let me give it 2 letters, AB. So this arc right here would be listed from A to B, and then you put a little eyebrow symbol over it, little arc symbol. Okay, so I'm actually going to work in reverse. I'm going to start down here with a semicircle. So a semicircle is half of a circle. I think we know that. And so it's an arc with the endpoints on the diameter. So it's always going to equal 180. So think about half of a circle would be this right here. I'm going to go ahead and highlight it in green. So you have the arc that went through the diameter. So let's add some letters. Let's say J. We'll say the center is at P. Over here is L. Let me add a point on the outside, K. So if I am trying to name this outside green arc, I am not going to pay attention to the inside circle because arcs are on the outside. So I'm going to deal with the 3 letters that talk about your green piece, which would be J, K, and L. So the semicircle would be J, K, L with an eyebrow. You could also reverse it and say L, K, J, but you're going to not talk about that P. So this would be a semicircle because it's half of a circle always equaling up to 180. Now, the other two arcs are going to be a minor arc and a major arc. So minor meaning small and major meaning big. And so you're going to relate it to this 180. So a major arc is going to be bigger than 180. So it's going to be pretty big, and you use 3 letters. So think about like all the way from here, all the way, go past the semicircle from here to here to here. Okay? And since you need 3 letters, we're going to add 3 dots on there. So that would be a majority of your pizza. So I'm going to say K-I-M. That's my name. So this major arc would be arc Kim. It could also be arc Mick if you went backwards. So semi, half, major, more than half, and then a minor arc is small. So minor arc is going to be a small arc, maybe from here to here. We'll go AB again. So this would be minor arc. Only need 2 letters. So it'd be arc AB. Okay. So the only arc that has 2 letters is a minor one. A major or a semi are going to have 3 arcs, 3 letters with an arc. And this is just a basic definition of an arc. Okay. All right. It is now time to play Name That Circle Part. So if you turn the page, you'll see a lovely picture, and it has 20 problems of naming the correct parts of a circle. Notice that the arc definition is not listed because it wants you to tell you which arc. So is it a minor arc, is it a major arc, or is it a semicircle? Another vocab word that's not listed is circle. It just talks about the center of the circle being 1 letter. Okay? But the rest of the vocab words you have an example of to help you. So try these. Don't pay too attention to if it's an arrow or a line segment. That's not really super important right now. But try these 1 through 20, and then we will go over the answer. So press pause, try them on your own. All right, hopefully you have pressed pause because here are the answers in 3, 2, 1. Boom. All right, so number 1 was tangent. I'm going to go down the left side real quick. 1 tangent, 3 inscribed angle. 5 was a major arc. You had 3 letters. 7 was a radius. 9 was a minor arc, 2 letters. R was the point of tangency. And then 13 was a semicircle. 15 was a chord. 17 was a minor arc. And 19 was a radius. Okay, if you have any questions on those or need me to explain them, please raise your hand. I would love to come help you. On the right side, 2 was a chord, 4 was the center, 6 was tangent, 8 was a central angle, 10 was the diameter, 12 was secant, 14 was a central angle, 16 was an inscribed angle, 18 was a secant, and 20 was a semicircle. Let me talk about 18 real quick because I know that confused some people in class. So if you look at 18, it went from L, to N. So the biggest thing is we know it's not an angle. We know it's not an arc. It's not a point. Let's see, it's not the center. It's not a radius. So maybe we're in between these guys. So a chord goes from like M to N. It stays inside the circle. Same thing for a diameter. It stays inside the circle. Okay? But these 2 are the ones that deal with outside the circle. And so secant, see how it went through it right here? And so that is why number 18 is a secant. It's not tangent because a tangent just hits it once. So an example of a tangent would be this, boom, hit it, and that was it. So secants and tangents deal with outside of the circle, but the other ones deal with being located inside the circle. Okay? So again, hope that helps. If you have any questions on this vocabulary, please let me know, and I will gladly come explain it to you. Thanks for watching.